Martin seen me, not not while performing, he just seen me and he thought that I looked maybe like a whore. Or a woman of the night, if you will. So
that's the character you're playing.
That's the character I'm playing in the play. So he thought she looks the part. I should find out who she is. And I think he tracked down our PR guy, Paul, and got my phone number. And the rest is history. He called me up and asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and yeah.
So
and I said yes.
I've got to say, I love the Killers. That's my top ultimate band. I just simply love the Killers. The Cure are another huge influence as well. Skunk Anansi, she's another influence as well. Nina Hagden, Patti Smith, and especially Lenny Kravitz. He is...
You know, I remember in the early 80s...
Tell us what you... Yeah, exactly. What
yeah. In the early 80s, I just saw these adverts, you know, of the tombstones and AIDS, death, gay, Africa. That's all I knew about AIDS.
And a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah.
And once I'm in the console, the guy says to me, "Can you sing?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't do that. I don't do that." And he said, and he said, "Well, why don't you give it a try? You've got a great speaking voice." So I said, "Oh no, I don't." Anyway, reluctantly, I went in to do the backing vocals, and I said to him, "I told you." He said, "No." He said, "Can you do the lead singing?"
Ever since when I came back to the UK in 2010.
Where did you live then before?
I was in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we are back with Mr. Lester Bachelor. The biggest smile here. So, Atmosphere are back together.
Yes.
Talking about Reece and Lauren, what's it like having two professional football players in your household family?
Well, as for any family, any father and mother, and you know, it's amazing. It's the fact that the journey and the ups and downs that it comes with.
So where did you study dance?
I at the London Contemporary Dance School. That's where I started in Euston, and it was really heavy. It was great. I'm not going to lie.
In what
heavy. It was heavy. Martha Graham. Martha Graham obviously was a fantastic choreographer from America, but my teacher Jane Dudley was from the original Martha Graham company. She had a stick.
How can we kind of make things better for the younger generation? And we had a meeting of minds. And I said, I have to interview you. It's amazing. So can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Obviously your name's Alan. Tell us a bit more and you know what you do and everything else. Just to start us off.
So yeah, like I said, my name's Alan. I currently work as a runner for the BBC Kids and Family.
You have to live life to understand things. When you're young, you really don't understand. You're kind of confused. So who am I? My mom is white, my dad is black. So who am I? Life experience teaches you things to understand yourself and know yourself and understand yourself.
Brilliant. So young people out there watching this, you are very lucky to have gained the wisdom, you know, of our brother John Fletcher.
Okay, so there's a new single, there's new material.
Yes, in the pipeline, yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
you've kept that quiet.
Well, to be honest with you, I've been doing it for a while. In fact, I started all this kind of dance music project in COVID, during COVID.
Right.
And I just did one with this one, and one with that one, and one with this one. And then I thought, why don't I just amalgamate? Put them all together. Yeah.
If it can happen, it will happen. You know. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to tick off everything on my bucket list. Acting was one of them. I was in Bridgerton earlier this year. Not this year. Last year I did a movie with Sky as well, myself and Jamelia. And then this year the opportunity to come in and do Sister Act came up. I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring, and I got the part as well.
We have 3 development centres. One was in West Norwood, South London. The other one was in Battersea Youth Centre down Hope Street. Good locations for recruitment through the A3 corridor and in Motspur Park. And we produce some top players. A lot of the boys are starting to see the fruits of Fulham's pre-academy now in their 21s.
I would not say we're grungy in the slightest. I would say we play dirty rock and roll, which is a combination of many things, but I would not restrict it to grunge. In fact, we've come up with a new term for our genre of music, which has never been heard of before, so we're pioneering it. Are you ready for this? We play grit pop, okay?
Yeah.
A bit of grunge, a bit of Brit pop, a bit gritty. Aye?
So I want to introduce everybody to Maggie. You first came on the music scene, but let's talk about before you joined bands and before you started writing music. So when you grew up in Birmingham, was that correct?
Absolutely.
Lots of great musicians from Birmingham. We could have got a long list, but
so many.
So many.
And you know, because Birmingham was also really known for its sort of heavy rock scene as well.
That's right, yeah.
So, you know, I grew up with such a bunch of different influences.
I think it was Scott something who...
he just retired the other day.
Did he?
So, yeah, I forget
he
it.
bought Scooter.
Brown.
He bought her catalogue. And she wasn't even given a chance to buy her own music, so she's re-recorded it, become more successful, and good for her.
Yeah, you know what, I take back what I said. Taylor Swift, you're doing all right. When you inevitably see this, you know, you're doing fine.
She does like a rocker, so you never know.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Which one?
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird shit that was in that video. It's a weird video. In a manner which was really dope, though.
And I just want to say, this is dedicated to Denise Agbisi, because remember we went to that church and she sadly passed away. And you were so lovely to her son. I'll always remember that.
Oh, it's so sad.
But thank you, Corey Glover. So you got a few more shows in the UK, then you're going to be playing with Extreme, and then Corey said you guys are going to be hopefully writing for a new album.
Yeah. I don't know if that's real or if that's a myth.
Okay.
No, it's real.
It's a weird thing where you get there and there's that excitement of, oh my god, we're doing America, we're doing show after show, but then you get to sort of week 3, 4, and while you're not taking it for granted, I'm still living every second, but it becomes the routine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we get up, we get in the van, we go through that same thing every day, and it's then going from that to then back to England and normal life is a very odd experience, but every single show was just like the size of the stages and the crowds were so enthusiastic, you know, it was really, people came down, in pretty much every show people came down early. And
So, you know, when you see the difference now that kids are like going, they won't play rock music because it's for white people, what's your thoughts on that?
I think they're limiting themselves because all music is for all people. If you're interested, do it. You know, I mean, in America, there are lots of black people, white people that are playing music that you wouldn't normally associate.
One of the bands, Living Colour, for example.
Absolutely. I was just going to come to Living Colour, right? And they're a phenomenal band.
The funny thing was, when I was even 3 years old, I wrote that in my book. The first songs that I really understood as a 3-year-old, I was very conscious about it, was The Letter by the Box Tops, My Green Tambourine by the Lemon Drops, and everything that was from the Beatles. And my father used to play all these things, also Wilson Pickett. But the funny thing was, I always got attracted by those big drums and the melodies. And later I figured out they were talking about streets that were basically common, but at the same time they made it something special. I just kind of love that one, you know. That's why I love British pop music.
So you're just 19.
Yeah.
And I think you've got an amazing stage presence. So when I first saw you do the sound check before I interviewed you, then you did the sound check at the Roundhouse.
Yeah,
So I was just so blown away, and people would always compare you to Amy and Billie Holiday. But you've got your own style, and I love how you incorporate horns into your sound as well. And that song Try, which you played tonight, is amazing. You've got a new song called Shake. Tell us about the writing process. Are you collaborating with the wonderful Saxon or other band members?
I write all my stuff on my own.
Everybody talks about South London, but let me tell you, the best sound systems come from South London. They do. And so many of the amazing artists come from South London, because you guys are literally at the bottom of my mother's street on Brockley Rise, Forest Hill.
Oh, that's where Cole is.
Exactly, that's where Cole is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm southwest now, so.
Oh, you kind of defected. Okay, well, I kind of has as well, so yeah. But.
Please mention some of the female opera singers that you looked up to, because I can't pronounce their names. I know we were discussing before, but please educate me and everyone who's watching.
So for me, one of the top ones was Maria Callas, just because she turned everybody on their head. I've got a robe of hers. I've got jewelry of hers. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Like, you know. So
look at my place.
Yeah. Well, you know, you have to be obsessed to do what we do.
So tell me your journey with music, how you first started and what got you into, what music you were into when you were younger, what you were listening to, what influenced you as an artist?
So music has always been a huge part of my life. I think the earliest memories that I can remember, I was surrounded by music.
So we could trust our artists with Janine for these reasons.
Because she will look out for them.
Because she would look out for them. And before I was a publicist, I was a radio producer.
Right.
And I was a writer for weekly shows and information and entertainment vignette programming and long form programming. And when I would
that all just went above my head.
Okay. Good evening, sir. How you doing?
I'm fine. I've just got through doing Cornelius, and I'm able to have a drink now because I've done it. And I'm here with the lovely two people here that I'm with.
Oh, thank you so much.
I haven't seen Cheri since Gilgamesh.
So Gilgamesh was a play that you directed. Our mutual friend Countess Alex Sapak was in it. But coming back to the award tonight, so you read from your book that you've written called Iced, which has been developed into a play. Do you want to tell us more about Iced?
Enjoying a conversation about Ayumi and the adaptive use musical instruments. Can I call it Ayumi, or is there any other way to describe it?
Call it all different ways. Some people, any way you call it is fine. It stands for adaptive use musical instrument, but some people call it Aumi, some people call it Omi, Aumi. It's called all different ways. I think I call it Omi. I don't know why, but that's my way.
After Torn from the Pages came out, I was getting a follow-up ready, so I have 4 tracks with Corey that I'm going to finish and release one at a time as singles. And this first one is called The Great Lost Hope, which will be out October 9th.
And great artwork. Who did the artwork, do you mind me asking?
Nello Del Olmo, my buddy from Naples. He did Torn from the Pages.
I remember coming here, I was 1976, 5 years of age, first game, and ever since...
First football match?
Yeah, I've been all around the world watching United. I was quite privileged in the 90s to work for the club, so I went all around Europe with the team.
And those times were fantastic.
The best times, weren't they?
Absolutely.
I actually was there to every away game when we won the treble. Not many people can say that. I went over to Poland for the prelim, the group stages in Munich.
Rana, we're delighted to have you today at the Singapore Economic Forum. It's a pleasure to have you with us. I know you just flew from the Silicon Valley, so we're grateful for you taking time away from your work to join us for a few hours here in the new financial capital of the Asia Pacific area in Singapore on the 22nd of March 2024. You're here for many things, you're a man of many talents and skills, and we just want to pick your brains here. We're out of the main conference room and with our colleagues Chris and Mark Anthony, bonjour. Hello. And we're shooting that mini interview on the sidelines of the Singapore Economic Forum, just to pick your brains for a few more minutes on these key topics which we discussed earlier today. Of course, Rana Assad, your reputation precedes you. You're director of LG.